used, I guess, usually for construction. Today we are using it to demand that our president and vice president be tried for war crimes, and this entire country should be behind us.
We've been up here since 7:30 this morning, and we climbed up, I don't know how many ladders.
Yeah.
Lost track.
About 90 feet.
90 feet.
About 90 feet.
But we did it for a purpose, and we occupied this space because we are going to pursue the fact that George Bush and Dick Cheney and all the criminals that got us into the war in Iraq and have done some really awful things in this country, like torture, like spying on citizens, and creating a police state. We have to hold them accountable, or else we will never have peace in this country again.
George Bush and his cronies are directly responsible for the unlawful deaths of more than 4,000 of my brothers and sisters. And I will not be silent. I will not allow my silence to be assumed agreement. I climbed this building here today to speak loudly and clearly against the Bush administration and advocate that they be held responsible as war criminals. They lied to get us into Iraq. They've continued deceiving the American public to keep us there. They've wasted lives. They've wasted money, and they've wasted 8 years of presidency, and have squandered all of our material wealth. They've squandered our image abroad, and again, they have squandered the lives of more than 5,000 of my brothers and sisters who did not need to die for oil. And inside this building right now is actually the U.S. Constitution, which clearly spells out that a lot of stuff that Bush has been up to these past 8 years are not to be permitted in our free society. For them not to be permitted, though, however, we the people are going to have to be the police for George Bush, and we are out here to demand prosecution. If I could walk into the White House right now and slap a pair of handcuffs on him, I would. I can't, so I'll climb the archives and I'll speak my message to the world.
Yeah, one of the things that people in this country don't realize is that this economic crisis is caused by the fact that this particular government and the administration even prior to this administration ran us into the ground by corporate greed. And also this war in Iraq, it cost us $10 billion a month. And if we were able to just bring our troops home, bring all our contractors home, and stop spending all that money, we would be fine here, and they could actually invest it here in our future. But now what they're doing is they're taking away tuition, they're cutting back on all sorts of social programs, but they are not cutting back on Homeland Security, and they're increasing the resources for the police state and for the military. So, and amongst other things, we are demanding that Bush and Cheney be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law, and we are not going to rest until that happens. And we are very tired and we're cold, but it's important that we hold them accountable. In the Nuremberg trials, everyone was held accountable that they could find. Lawyers, doctors, people that did some really gruesome things during World War II. And we should not allow our politicians to get away with anything either.
You know, this war criminal of a president we have, George Bush, actually tried to stop-loss me and send me to Iraq last June. And I had to stand up in Congress and tell him, no, sir, your war is illegal. Your policies are even worse, and I will no longer be a tool for your corruption. And I stood by that, and I still stand by that today. Luckily, I get to stand by that on top of the National Archives with a group of veterans from wars spanning all the way back to the 50s who have come to the same conclusion as I, and that is war is a racket, peace is truly patriotic. And furthermore, we cannot allow our leaders to forsake the values and even the laws that this land has been built off of to to prosecute their illegal wars for profit. And like I said, I understand Iraq to be an illegal war for profit, and it was in that sense that I felt forced to refuse participation there. And when I'm court-martialed this January, I look forward to thinking back to this experience right now, sitting up here on top of the National Archives and finding strength, knowing that even if they put me in jail, even if they take away my benefits and call me a coward and a traitor, there are still dedicated Americans, veterans and patriots in this country who will never stop fighting for the right thing, and that's what we're doing right now. This is classic non-violent domestic engagement for the purpose of promoting peace and justice here at home. And
tell us your name one more time and we'll sign off.
Sure. I am Sergeant Mathis Chereau of the Army's Individual Ready Reserve, and more importantly, the organization Iraq Veterans Against the War.
Elaine Brower, Military Families Speak Out.
Thanks, guys.